Hello, welcome. In this video tutorial, I'm going to discuss about the predicate functional interface. Yeah, so this is the interface we are going to discuss about. So how we are going to make use of this interface. Okay. So predicate. So I'm going to work on integer variables. Integer values, which a1 is equal to. So the predicate that I'm going to write is x is greater than, so obviously that is a condition, right? X is greater than 10. So if it is true, it is going to return true. If it is false, it is going to return false. So why we have written like this means if you go, so this is the abstract method in the predicate functional interface. So here you are going to pass the t type. So here the t type we have taken is integer. Okay, so it is going to return a boolean. See, it returns true if the input argument matches the predicate, otherwise false. So here what we have taken is the condition x is greater than 10. So if at all a given number is greater than 10, it is going to give you a true, otherwise it is going to return you a false. So let us check that. So as this so-called test method is going to give you a true or false, right? So for that sake, I'm going to write a system.out.println. So obj1.test, I'm going to pass the value 45, and then now check. So obviously it is going to return me a true because 45 is greater than 10, right? So this condition, so this is the value, right? 45. So it is going to be passed on here. So the lambda expression gets executed. So 45 is greater than 10, it is true. So is going to give me true as the statement is present in the system.out.println. So it is going to present me the value called true. Suppose let us say if I use the same predicate on this -1, so obviously it is going to give me false, right? Because -1 is not greater than 10. So obviously it is going to give me a false. And there is another interesting method in predicates which is known as negate. See, negate what it does is it is going to return a predicate that represents the logical negation of this predicate. So ultimately the return type of this method is a predicate. Okay, so let us work on this. So what actually it is. Okay, so as it is saying it is going to return me a predicate, so integer. So let's take neg. So what I'm going to do is obj1 dot, I'm calling the function called negate. So now let us write the same thing. So let me copy the same statement. Now run this. So just hold on a second. It's not obj1 dot, it's neg test. See, so this is what a negate means. So here I have the obj1. So the condition here we have taken is x greater than 10, right? So whenever you run this particular predicate, so on 45 it is going to give you the true, on -1 it is going to give you false. But what I have done is at line number 16, I have taken the negation of the predicate. That means it's quite contrast. So that means in place of true it is going to give false, in place of false it is going to give you true. So that is what negate. So I just negated the statement, the condition, right? So suppose let us say instead of -1, if I give 11, so it is going to give me false, right? Because 11 is greater than 10, true, but what we have used here is negate. So that's why whenever you call neg.test of 11, so it just acts differently. I mean, just vice versa, right? Okay, so what are the conditions you have given, it is going to act as a negation. Okay. So that is how this negate is going to work. So if you use the negate function, it is going to give you a predicate which is the negate of this obj1. Okay, so it's a very beautiful method which you can use And the next, let me show you quickly another two more methods which are known as AND, and the next another one is OR. And OR. So these are the two methods. So both the methods accepts predicate types as the parameters, and both the method returns predicates. Okay. So in order to do that, let me delete all this code as of now. So take another predicate integer obj2 is equal to x, else let us take okay, x less than 20. Okay. So obj1 is a predicate which is going to check whether a value is greater than 10, and obj2 is the one which is going to check whether the value is less than 20. Okay. So now what I want to do is I want to make use of these two predicates and check whether a value is in between these boundaries or not. So one is going to check for greater than 20, and one other one is going to check less than 20. That means 10 and 20 are exclusive, right? So anywhere if you give the value from 11 to 19, okay, if you apply the AND, it is going to give you the true. Otherwise it is going to give you false if either of the conditions doesn't match. Okay, so first let us use the method called AND. Okay, so predicate integer and pre, so and predicate is equal to what I'm going to do, obj1 dot and obj2, like. So that means if I write like this is and predicate dot test 12. So whenever I run this, see, it is going to give me true, because see here we are using the function AND. That means both the predicates obj1 and obj2 must return a true, right? So then only a true and true becomes true. If either of them is false, obviously it is going to be a false. So instead of 12, if I change this value to 2, okay, so whenever I run this, obviously it is going to return me a false. Suppose if I give a 21, okay, so for the first one obj1 it is going to give you true, but whereas for the second one obj2 it is going to return a false. So true and false, it is going to give you a false. So that means here we are going to check whether both the predicates are true or not. So that's the AND function for you. So and just the OR will be quite similar, right? But whereas in OR, if either of them is true, it is going to give you a true. So that means for that sake, I'm copying the same code right here, pasting it here. So instead of AND, I'm going to name it as OR predicate, and instead of AND here, I'm going to make use of OR. So OR. So now let us run this. So true, right? Because 21. If you take the first predicate obj1, it is true. If you take the second predicate obj2, it is false, right? So a true or false, obviously it is going to be a true. Okay, so this is how we can use the OR predicate. Okay, so these are the two functions which are very handy functions. Okay, negate, as we have seen, negate means just to negate whatever the condition you have written. Okay, suppose let us say if I have a list of collection, okay, a collection, okay, it may be a list, array list, or whatever the list it might be. Okay, so first let us work on the list. Working with list. Okay, so here I'm going to take array list which holds integer. AR is equal to new array list integer. So to make the thing simple, I'm going to add the numbers 1 to 5. Okay, so AR dot add 1, dot add 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so now I'm going to take a predicate integer even. So even predicate which checks for the even values. Okay, x mod 2 equal to 0. Okay, so that is the condition I have then. Okay, so in order to apply this predicate on the whole bunch of list, we are going to make use of a method called stream method. Okay, so you know streams, right? Is just a collection. Okay, so AR dot first take stream. If you or let me show you the documentation related to the stream. Let's go to the overview. Let me go to all classes. Stream. Okay. Yes, this is the stream, right? Say stream, a sequence of elements, right? So with this stream you can filter, you can do a lot of things using these streams. Okay, so let me dot stream. So if you see the documentation here, right here itself, it is going to give you a stream which consists of only integers, right? Okay, because array list is array list which holds only integers, right? So what I'm going to is stream integer. So take int stream equal to AR dot stream. Okay, so in order to make use of the stream, you need to import this package util.stream. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is int stream dot, there is a method called filter. So we are going to give you a predicate. So the predicate is even, right? So even. So obviously the the output of this function is also a stream. Okay, so again I'm going to make use of the dot operator. Okay, else I'm making use of the function called for each directly. Okay, so for each, so I'm going to write the lambda expression directly here itself. So system dot out dot println x. Okay, so this is a stream, right? So int stream is a stream which contains all the collection of this array list, I mean the elements collection. So on that stream, what we have done is we have filtered the elements based on a predicate called even. Okay, so after filtering, so in order to display the elements, I am going to make use of for each. Okay, so for each takes the consumer as a input, so a consumer type as an input. So here rather than writing again consumer and all, here I have written directly the lambda expression, right? So now let me run this. So now we need to see only 2 and 4, right? See 2 and 4. So this is how you can filter by just making use of this predicates. Of course here if you want, you can break the statement like this: consumer integer, okay, cons is equal to, you can write the same thing just cut this and paste it over here, and the next write CONS. So everything looks C214. So rather than just writing individual statements, I just return directly there itself. Okay. So if at all, if you want, you can also reduce the same statement. You can also write like this also, AR dot stream. Okay. So on this stream, I am going to apply the filter. So and I am going to apply the predicate filter. On that predicate, I am going to apply for each CONS. Okay. So you can, or else just write like this, directed X. Let me copy this statement. So you can write it in a single statement. So let me comment on this. So rather than breaking down them in 3 statements, you can write it in a single statement. Now let me run this program. Yes, it works. So this is how the predicates are very useful. If you want to filter out the elements from the array list or whatever, it may just convert into it as a stream. Okay, and the next apply whatever you want. Okay. And there is another method in array list. I will show you right away now. So if I say AR dot remove, there is a method called remove. Remove if is the method which takes a predicate as an input. Okay, a predicate type as an input. That means it serves as a filter. Okay. So in this filter, I am going to print even. So the difference is see, here we have applied the stream, right? So even though here we have taken the stream and we have filtered the elements. Okay, that means let me show you. So if I say AR dot to string, see, I can see all the elements are present, right? So no element is removed, even though I have applied the filter here, but the filtering happened, but elements removal doesn't took place, right? So that is what you can do in the stream. So that means the stream is in the stream you are going to filter out the data. But whereas here, if you use this particular method, remove if, it is going to completely change your list. Okay. So now again run the same statement. So now let us see the difference. See, here in the list you are having 1 2 3 4 5, but whereas after applying the so-called remove if function, what happened is 2 and 4 are vanished from the list. So that means it is going to remove particular elements which matches to that particular predicate. So the predicate here we have taken is to check whether they are even or not, right? So this is how you can make use of the predicates. If you want to have more filtering sort of thing, then make use of the stream function, and the next apply the filter or do whatever you want. If you have the stream, you can do whatever you want. Filter, you can there is something called map and reduce. So everything you can do. Okay, so that's all for now. Thank you.